Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,566, silver at $17.48, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,412. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as resistance to U.S. troop presence in both Iraq and Syria gained steam, a rare scuffle between Syrian civilians and U.S. forces broke out Wednesday, resulting in the death of one Syrian, believed to be a civilian, and the wounding of another. Mint Press News reports that a U.S. soldier was also reportedly injured in the scuffle. The event is likely to escalate tensions, especially in the northeastern region, where the incident took place, as Syria, Iraq, and Iran have pushed for an end to the U.S. troop presence in the region, following the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Several companies that are developing medical treatments from psychedelic drugs like LSD, ketamine, and psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, are getting ready to list on Canadian stock exchanges. The Mind Unleashed reports that one of the companies, Mind Medicine Inc., has been involved in clinical trials of psychedelic-based drugs and aims to list on Toronto's INEO exchange by the first week of March. J.R. Ron, the company's co-founder and co-chief executive officer, told Bloomberg. And MindMed Inc. isn't the only company reaching into the deep waters of developing psychedelic medicines. There are a growing number of companies that are conducting or beginning to administer clinical trials of psychedelic treatments for things such as depression to post-traumatic stress disorder. Some trials have even received the blessings of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In late 2018, the FDA stated that psilocybin was a breakthrough therapy via a drug developed by London-based Compass Pathways Limited for clinical depression. Self-declared Venezuelan interim president Juan Guaido may have been given a hero's welcome at President Trump's State of the Union address last week, but he certainly did not receive the same treatment after he touched down in Caracas on Tuesday. His very presence was enough to turn those present, including airport employees, into an enraged mob, hectoring, jeering, and manhandling him, kicking his car and covering him in water and other liquids. Mint Press News reports that video shows an angry female immigration employee shouting, quote, "You are a traitor to our country," end quote, as his passport is getting checked. Others yelled murderer and fascist at the controversial opposition politician. Guaido was roughed up in a scrum of angry Venezuelans, his shirt ripped and his pride dented. Another video shows an airline employee chasing him through the arrivals lounge, pouring beer on him, expressing her contempt for him. He escaped in his car as onlookers pelted it with traffic cones, chanting that he was trash and a murderer. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
The Department of Health and Human Services has issued a new ban preventing the nation's saunas from any further use of tanning salons. The ruling was made after a study found that Shaunas are exposed to roughly 5,000 times more UV radiation each year than the average American.
They are at a very high risk of developing melanoma and orangey leathery skin. Shaunas, you are tan enough.
The nation's Shaunas have reacted negatively to the ban.
I don't care what the government says. I just won $15 in scratches, so I'm getting a freaking tan. This sucks.
None of us have time for this shit. We've got Tammys at home to raise.
In an Onion News Network poll of Shaunas across the country, more than 30% argued that a pale complexion will negatively affect the size of their tips at Ruby Tuesdays. And more than half have said that their boyfriends Dennis like them tan. And he's the father of their second child, so they want him to stick around.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria and nobody who stepped out for a moment to get some coffee, and he's going to be right back. So it was brought to my attention today, this story out of Connecticut where these girls are suing to block participation of transgender athletes in the state of Connecticut. Evidently, the families of three female high school runners filed a federal lawsuit Wednesday seeking to block transgender athletes in Connecticut from participating in girls' sports. And this whole thing, it's a mess, really, because there's no good answer to what anyone is supposed to do or what anyone would like to see done with trans athletes competing.
Yeah, it's I mean, to me the answer is that athletic leagues should be private organizations that make their own rules, and you should participate in organizations where the rules suit you, and you should choose not to participate in organizations where the rules don't suit you.
I would tend to agree, except I think the most likely result of that would be a male athletics division, a female athletics division, and a trans athletic division, which may or may not be a problem. But the whole issue, at least as far as trans people see it, is that they don't want to be segregated off by themselves simply for being trans. And I can sympathize with that, but at the same time, I recognize that they're being deceitful and facetious here to pretend like they don't have a biological advantage from having been born male in competing in physical events against cisgender women. I mean, they simply do. And all of the aggregate studies we see between females and males competing against one another supports that idea. I mean, the men always have about a 10% edge, performance edge, over women, according to the stats. The men's 100-meter world record is about, let me rephrase it, the women's world record is about 90% as fast as the men's. This is also true of swimming, kayaking, high jumping. It's always about 90% because men do, in physical competitions, have a natural advantage. Mm-hmm. And whether or not that natural advantage is like heightened by sociological trends and men actually going out and participating in physical activities or not, I don't know, but the biological advantage is still there regardless.
Yeah, and you know, that's certainly true. And there doesn't seem to be any way to change that, you know.
So these girls in the high school are represented by Alliance Defending Freedom, which is a conservative nonprofit organization. They argue that allowing athletes with male anatomy to compete has deprived them of track titles and scholarship opportunities. Mm-hmm. And I'm reminded of something a friend of mine said, which was that no one cares about trans athletes until they win. Like, I'm sure we can find countless examples of male to female and female to male athletes competing across the world who are doing average at best in their fields. But as soon as one of them wins, it becomes this monumental problem. Like, no one cared about that male to female kickboxer until she broke someone's skull. Like, they didn't care when she was losing fights because she did. She was always average at best. But then she broke someone's skull, and which, yeah, obviously, yeah, that's not good, but it's kickboxing. Mm-hmm. So that sort of thing tends to happen occasionally.
Oh, well, it does happen, but it's pretty rare.
Yes, it's not good.
and you know, it results from a mismatch.
Certainly.
You know, and that's yeah, and there are a lot of things around the edges of transgenderism that are very subjective that way. On the one hand, you don't want somebody who's legitimately trans. For example, you would not want to put you in a male prison. At the same time, it is absolutely possible for me, if I'm going to prison or I'm going through the TSA, to say, oh, yeah, well, guess what? I identify as female because, hey, I would have a lot more fun in a female prison than I would have in a male prison. So if I was willing, and certainly, now that's not saying that everybody's going to do that or that it's common, but there's going to be that one guy who's willing to bite the bullet.
Right. And a lot of people on the left don't want to recognize that reality. Like when the whole bathroom thing was in the news a few years ago, a lot of people are like, no, if someone identifies as a female, then they should be allowed into the women's room. That's the end of the story. But there are people out there who would do that just to gain access to the women's room where they can find vulnerable women.
Exactly. Like and it's not saying all trans people are fake. It's saying you're creating a situation where people have a loophole they can take advantage of, and it's completely subjective. There's no way for somebody outside to make that determination of who should be, you know, well, let's just say it's a subjective determination.
Sure.
Certainly somebody could stand there at the prison door and say, you're going there and you're going there. And somebody says, well, I belong over here. And he can say, no, you don't. But it's a completely subjective situation. There's no way to make law out of it because there's no way to make it objective.
No. Mentally and physically, we know the outcome before the race even starts, said Smith, who is the daughter of former Major League pitcher Lee Smith. Mm-hmm. That biological unfairness doesn't go away because of what someone believes about gender identity. All girls deserve the chance to compete on a level playing field. And I would tend to agree. I mean, there's a reason we segregated men and women's sports in the first place.
Right.
Right.
Right. And that's, you know, that's the other thing you could do is just say, okay, well, we're just not going to have men's and women's sports anymore.
But then women stop competing because they never win. Right.
Right. Right. Or the thing is, there would be that set of outliers who did continue to win.
Sure.
I think.
But men would win.
But it would certainly be a rare thing. You would find a very small, I think, a number of females involved in it, in that situation, or at least it would be dominated by.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to say that, you know, a women's sprinter can't beat many men's sprinters in races. But if you take the fastest male sprinter and pit them against the fastest female sprinter, the male is simply going to win.
Mm-hmm.
So forcing girls to be spectators in their own sports is completely at odds with Title IX, a federal law designed to create equal opportunities for women in education and athletics, attorney Christiana Christina Holcomb said, Connecticut's policy violates the law and reverses nearly 50 years of advances for women.
And, I'll tell you, my brother was a varsity lacrosse coach at the University of Michigan, which is a Big Ten school. So this was a big deal. And so I've had some exposure to serious sports. And the other issue is the idea that, we have to have a female program for every male program, when a lot of times there are things that women are just naturally less interested in. You don't you can't necessarily build a female football team at your average college. There just aren't enough women.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com. I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit libertycon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on libertycon.com. The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit divvyproject.org. divvyproject.org.
According to a report released this week, people who paint themselves silver and pretend to be statues earn, on average, $10 million per year. The Onion sat down with economist Mark Cosgrave to learn more about the money-making potential of this highly lucrative employment path.
There's no more profitable career at the moment. If you compare these positions to other high-paying jobs, say physicians or mechanical engineers, you'll find that those individuals who have outfitted themselves with silver-painted boxes and can move their limbs stiffly as if they were a robot are making literally hundreds of times as much. At this point, I would say that the only job that offers anywhere near that kind of earning potential is dressing up like Batman and allowing people to pose for photos with you. And those guys who play paint buckets like drums have historically done well for themselves. But honestly, the recession hit these professions pretty hard, and a lot of them are only making something like $800,000 a year at this point. It's barely even worth their time.
This is the Onion News Network.
What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
There are basically 2 types of advertising: direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And Freedom's Phoenix is a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. Do you want the newest and freshest stories and perspective on current events from those who value liberty? freedomsphoenix.com has it. Their daily dispatch is the best way to stay up to date on science, technology, historical findings, liberty news, government overspending, and the rise of the police state. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. Freedom's Phoenix. God, that is hard to say.
Sorry, just washed my lips and I can't do a thing with them.
Right. So before everybody out there listening gets up in arms about how transphobic we're being here on Free Talk Live tonight, I would like to remind people that I am in fact trans, but I'm also generally not a jerk. And I recognize that I used to kickbox and I've considered getting back into it. But I know going into it that I would be competing against men. I mean, regardless of who I am and how I identify and all of this other stuff, not only would I not be interested in kickboxing against women, because I just find the idea of hitting a woman, even in a consensual fight, to be just despicable, but it wouldn't make sense.
I wouldn't go kickbox against a little dude either. You know,
that's a good point.
I mean, unless I knew that person to be at the same time, I wouldn't discriminate against Bruce Lee, who was a little dude. So it's really a difficult situation.
And it only gets more difficult. The Connecticut Association of Schools Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Conference, good God, what a name, says its policy follows a state anti-discrimination law that says students must be treated in school by the gender with which they identify. And the group believes the policy is appropriate under both state and federal law. It's obviously going to be a problem that the government created here. Right.
Exactly. Because I think the state law's wrong and the federal law's wrong.
Certainly. We don't need any sort of law protecting sexuality or orientation or gender or any of these other things. None of that's doing anyone any good. But even if we erased all of that, we would still have this underlying social problem of trans women wanting to compete against women. And for the trans person who just happens to be, really into running marathons or whatever, I sympathize with them. But the fact is, as you were pointing out, you will have men who can't compete against other men and women who go, oh, well, if I just identify as a female, then I can compete against women and then I'll get gold medals instead of placing 27th.
Yeah. And actually, there are it probably depends on the sport, because I remember when I was learning to shoot, I had my girl Christine was coming out and learning to shoot with me, and she was a way better shot than I was. And the instructor told me that it was actually much easier to teach women to shoot, partially because there were parts of hand-eye coordination that seemed to be physically better, but also because they didn't pick up as many bad habits from movies and from playing cowboys and Indians when they were children. So they had less nonsense to unlearn. So it may not even be true that this is an issue in all sports. There may be, are there female shooting leagues?
I'm sure there are.
And are there co-ed shooting leagues? And
I don't know that I would characterize shooting as I guess technically it would be a
archery
physical
is a sport. Shooting is a sport.
Yeah, good
Certainly, triathlon is a sport.
Yeah.
Downhill skiing is a sport. So basically, there are some sports, I think, where a more masculine body will not give you an advantage necessarily.
And it's also true that a lot of these sports, as we know them in the West, in Western society, were designed by men for men, right?
Sure.
And I don't want to be... There's no way to say this without pissing everyone off, but there isn't a grocery shopping sport, right? There isn't a clean the house sport or anything like that, because women excel at those kinds of organizational things.
Of course, there's also no bricklaying sport and no table waiting sport.
Yeah.
I mean, some things just aren't.
But women
sports.
are superior organizers with multitasking and things of that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's no sports designed around that. Instead, you have sports designed around, being big, bulky dudes running into each other to get a ball, or being big, tall dudes running around each other to put a ball through a hoop. Things that are sports that are created to highlight various aspects of male physiology.
Yeah, or at least that are fun for particular reasons. That see that's the other thing, is sports aren't really designed. Sports start out as games. They're just things people do for fun.
That's true.
And so things turn out to be fun, and then a lot of people start doing it, and then it becomes a sport. But I don't think anybody ever sat down and said, yeah, I'm going to make up a game. What do we do? Let's have big hoops, and we'll throw things through the hoops. It's more a situation where there was a hoop and people saw it was up there on the wall for some reason. People said, hey, let's throw a ball through that thing. Oh, this is kind of fun. I can hit it. Can you hit it?
Good point. So this lawsuit follows a Title IX complaint filed last June by the girls' families and the Alliance Defending Freedom with the U.S. Education Department's Office for Civil Rights, which is investigating the policy. The lawsuit centers on two transgender sprinters, Terry Miller and Andrea Yearwood, who have frequently outperformed their cisgender competitors. The two seniors have combined to win 15 girls' state indoor or outdoor championship races since 2017, according to the lawsuit. I don't know what sort of winning average would be, but 15 state championship races between two people in 2.5 years seems excessive.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an even playing field.
The three plaintiffs have competed directly against them, almost always losing to Miller and usually behind Yearwood. Mitchell finished third in the 2019 state championship in the girls' 55-meter indoor track competition behind both Miller and Yearwood. So she would have placed first if not for these two trans athletes. 855-450-3733. What do you think about trans athletes? Do you have a solution to this problem? Hopefully one that doesn't involve the state. 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did. at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Phone records, financial and location data, Prism, Tempora, X-Keyscore, Boundless Informant. Hey y'all, Scott Horton here for offnow.org. Now here's the deal. Due to the Snowden revelations, we have a great opportunity for a short period of time to get some real rollback of the national surveillance state. Now they're already trying to tire us by introducing fake reforms in the Congress. And the courts, they betrayed their sworn oaths to the Constitution and Bill of Rights again and again, and can in no way be trusted to stop the abuses for us. We've got to do it ourselves. How? We nullify it at the state level. It's still not easy, but the Off Now project of the 10th Amendment Center has gotten off to a great start. I mean it. There's real reason to be optimistic here. They've gotten their model legislation introduced all over the place, in state after state. I've lost count, more than a dozen. You're always wondering, yeah, but what can we do? Here's something important, something that can work if we do the work. Get started cutting off the NSA support in your state. Go to offnow.org.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash using dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. So finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started buying and selling Bitcoin Cash. Again, that's local.bitcoin.com. One of the better peer-to-peer non-custodial exchanges out there, although they've had a real problem with scammers lately. They're working on it. They're hard at work on that. But I mean, there's scammers everywhere out there in the crypto world. Anyway, we've got Mark calling from the Marianas Islands. Mark, how's things out there in the Pacific? Looks like we don't have Mark. We'll come back to that.
Yes, we have no Mark.
So, cryptocurrency. Are you an idiot? Are you looking for ways to pay your cryptocurrency taxes. I'm so confused here. I've got an article from news.bitcoin.com about cryptocurrency tax calculators and how you can estimate how much you owe in taxes based on your cryptocurrency dealings.
Yeah, and let me take exception right now with the are you an idiot thing, because let's say that I own a brick and mortar business and I also buy and sell cryptocurrency. Well, if I don't at least appear to be paying taxes on my cryptocurrency, they're going to come and confiscate that brick and mortar business.
Okay, that's true.
Or if I own real estate, they're going to come and take my house, and I'm going to lose a lot more than I saved. So to me, it's more a level of what level of risk are you willing to absorb? Because certainly losing your house to the government because you don't pay property taxes, that doesn't hurt the government in the long run. The government would love it if they could have a steady stream of confiscated houses from that.
Good point. So I will add the caveat to this that the statement about idiots does not include brick and mortar businesses that accept cryptocurrency. I'm thinking more about the people who day trade, who buy Bitcoin on like Coinbase and then hold it for a little while and then sell it later, or whatever they do to flip it.
Yeah.
And paying capital gains taxes on that, or whatever sort of taxes that would be. I think it would qualify as capital gains. I have no idea. I'm not a tax attorney. I don't pay taxes. Screw them.
Yeah, and I actually own nothing. I do happen to work for a church which owns some crypto and sometimes trade that crypto on behalf of the church, but I don't own any, and the church doesn't have any tax liability, so I'm lucky in that respect.
As cryptocurrency, anyway, I don't actually want to get into that article. I just wanted to discuss the absurdity of paying taxes on cryptocurrency gains, except, as you point out, for brick and mortar businesses that accept cryptocurrency, because those are still sales, and sales are still taxed. Now, that's not applicable, though, here in New Hampshire. They would still have to pay their federal taxes and crap like that, I guess. But as far as...
it's certainly revenue for the business, and so it would definitely have to be considered on your tax forms if you're taking it openly.
Yeah. So the government is scared of cryptocurrency, and they're doing everything they can to do what we would expect the government to do about cryptocurrency, honestly. Apparently, they're saying that Libra is the fire that got them really motivated to do something, and now they're talking about what is basically going to be FedCoin.
Mm-hmm.
And that was always, I assumed Ripple was going to be FedCoin, but then it was going to be Libra. But I don't think any of these are what the government actually wants. But the government is in a difficult position in regard to cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
They can't stop Facebook from creating Libra. I guess they can, but they're not going to.
Mm-hmm.
So they will have the option of Americans using currencies that are controlled by companies like Facebook or Amazon or whoever, or using cryptocurrencies that aren't controlled by anyone, like Bitcoin Cash and Dash and Monero, or trying to force FedCoin onto the masses of the American people. And they're already starting in last place in that particular race. The government's way behind in regard to cryptocurrencies.
Well, last place, but also first place. If every bank account is automatically a wallet because you've set this thing up through the Federal Reserve, then that's a huge installed base you've got. It's
sure, but private entities are already beating the Federal Reserve to this. There's the Divvy wallet and that kind of thing that's going to essentially be a wallet that allows people to just freely swap between Bitcoin and fiat inside of an app and send it directly to their bank accounts.
Yeah, that's definitely true. But and that's going to have a certain level of federal involvement, because anytime you involve a bank in something.
Yeah, they're involved with Western Union. I'm not a super big fan, but
yeah,
it is what
Western
it is.
Union is, they're
They
old
play
guard.
ball. Yeah.
They're definitely old economy connected people. They're cronies, let's put it that way.
They are for sure. So Trump's plan for dealing with cryptocurrency is to move the Secret Service back to the Department of the Treasury. And I don't understand all of this, and I don't particularly care because, it's just government doing what government does. It has this thing that it doesn't like, so it's going to give itself the power to do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
But it gets
they hate us for our freedom.
It gets a little bit deeper than that, with the Fed Chair Powell revealing the U.S. response to China's digital yuan, Libra, and the idea of a public payments ledger. Evidently, they don't think that the American public will like a public payment ledger like Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, which is great, because I would agree. Let's use Monero instead. Let's use Zcash instead, or Hush, or some other privacy coin.
No.
So the Fed seems to sort of agree, saying, there's a lot of crap here before it actually. Do you feel you have adequate visibility into what the Chinese are doing? Do you have working level contacts that give you some idea of what their rollout is likely to do? So China, as we've known for a very long time, is working on their own state-sponsored cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Powell answers, yes, we certainly have that, meaning an idea of what China is going to do. However, he clarified that circumstances in the U.S. are completely different from China, saying, for example, the idea of having a ledger where you know everybody's payments is not something that would be particularly attractive in the United States context, but it's not a problem for China. Now, I'm confused by the government's position on this. I would think the ability to track everyone's payments, they would see as a benefit, and they would be trying to sell this idea to the American public.
Well, they can already track everything you do through your bank account,
Right. But not through cash.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Cash is the currency of choice for drug dealers and illegal arms traders for exactly that reason.
Yeah, this is true.
No one ever sold an illegal AK-47 for a check from Wells Fargo, that's for sure.
I've sold drugs for checks.
855-450-3733.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
Warning, if you're drowning in debt you can't afford, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to pay it all back, because you don't. What the credit card companies don't want you to know is that there's actually a way to get debt-free without paying off your entire debt or going bankrupt. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you now have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. For free information, call Credit Associates now. 1-800-976-1460. We'll even show you how much money you could save. If you can't afford to pay off all your debt, do not let the credit card companies trick you into thinking that you have to. Call Credit Associates now for free information on how to get debt-free faster than you ever thought possible without debt consolidation or bankruptcy. We depend on your success and offer a guarantee, so there's no risk. For free information, call now. 1-800-976-1460. That's 1-800-976-1460. 1-800-976-1460.
Do the letters IRS give you anxiety? I'm Dan Pilla. I've defended people from the IRS for more than 40 years. My book, How to Get Tax Amnesty, created the tax resolution industry and is responsible for helping hundreds of thousands of people. It can help you too. If you're a non-filer or facing IRS enforcement right now, your case is unique. You need real help, not cookie-cutter advice. My clients get my personal attention. Buy my book at danpilla.com and get a free consultation directly with me. That's danpilla.com. Let's start solving your tax problem right now.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing. To be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And we've got Mark Edge calling from the Marianas Islands. Mark, you're on Free Talk Live. How are things over there in the Pacific?
Bright and sunny. It's another beautiful day where America starts its morning.
In the Pacific?
I never
start well, I'm across the international
Pacific.
Okay.
You're not America. America is a concept.
Oh, okay. So it's not like America runs on Duncan or something where, we're all supposed to do it individually.
No, it's that the United States has little territories around the world, and this is the first one from the international dayline. That's what it is.
Well, the sun never sets on the American empire, does it?
It certainly does not. So you guys were talking about trans people, especially competing in sports, and then maybe high school athletics and that whole thing, right?
Right.
I've come up with a solution. It is not perfect, but it is better than what we have. What seems to really rile people up is a trans person, not somebody who's born sexually ambiguous, but in fact, trans person, that makes a decision, says, I don't like this gender, I'm fitting to be the other one, right? And I'm sorry for everybody out there who thinks there's 39 genders. I'm not talking about that right now. So when that person competes and wins, then it's a national news story, especially if they break somebody's skull.
Right.
So my solution is that we have currently we have two leagues, basically. There's sub-leagues like age and sex, weight, a variety of things, skill levels. They have all those sorts of things too. Well, instead of there being men and women in sports, make it women and open. So in some sports, I believe jiu-jitsu is among them, there's an open league. And in that open league, and it usually occurs at a men's event, but in that open league, anybody of any size can compete against anybody of any other size. They usually compete at skill level, but so the white belts compete against the white belts, the blue belts compete against the blue belts on up. But a little guy of 130 pounds can fight a big guy of 230 pounds, and the chips fall where they may. I'm sure that women could have in that open category too, should they wish. They just generally don't wish. And all I'm saying is that, relegate the trans folks who to the open league. So if it's
what
a
about
woman
the female to male trans people?
They are taking testosterone?
Presumably.
Then they're in open. You have is biological females who are currently presenting as females and not taking performance enhancing drugs like testosterone or human growth hormone or whatever it is that they give these folks. There's your league.
Now,
That's
isn't that essentially just keeping things as they are now, but it's just renaming the men's league to open? Like, women can already compete in high school football on men's teams and things like that.
Could compete in football if there were women's teams in football, but there aren't because there's not enough women want to play football. So they let them in on the men's team and essentially turn it to an open situation. They don't call it men's football. They just call it football. So yes, it's essentially doing the same thing, but then there's not any complaint about saying, making me play men's sports and I'm a woman now, or whatever the complaint is. It's just, this is wrestling. And
wouldn't a similar complaint, though, be that a male to female person who is taking testosterone blockers and estrogen no longer has a level playing field while competing against men?
Do they have a level playing field while competing against women?
I'm not saying they do.
The fact is that when you started taking your drugs, you knew you were going to have to make some sacrifices, and you knew some things in your life were going to be changing. You knew you'd spend more on bras than you did before, presumably. And
so trans people have to make a sacrifice that cis people don't?
Trans people make all kinds of sacrifices that cis people don't. It's part of the decision-making process to become trans.
Right, but part of the idea here is that being trans shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Look, I don't have a problem with a trans male to female sports league where the trans male to females compete against the trans male to females. I just don't think we get anybody to compete in it. In the same way that we don't really have girls football, not because we don't like the idea of girls playing football, but because not enough girls want to play football.
It seems to depend on sport, though, also, because I was thinking that like track, where people are running races, you could put everybody in one big race and just announce winners for multiple categories. Okay, so I mean, you could.
But I mean, if you're going to do that, why not just make everybody a winner? Oh, well, he's the winner for being the shortest person. He's the winner for the person who only weighed 147 pounds. She's the winner for the person with C cups.
Yeah, and you could definitely do it. So then the question becomes, what categories are meaningful? And but you can slice and dice the data any way you want to, like golf would be susceptible to that, and golf already has a handicapping system, but I have no idea how it works because golf. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't follow golf. I will say I don't think there is in any sort of forthcoming answer to this trans athlete situation. I don't think that male to female athletes should be able to compete against women. And I don't think that they should be forced to compete against men. And I don't think they should be segregated off to themselves. So I don't know. I don't think any of those options are good for them psychologically or good for their competitors psychologically. I don't know. And I don't even know if a middle ground, a happy medium could be achieved in this case.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it comes down to the Monty Python skit where they say, well, men have a right to have children, they just can't do it. And well, why do that? It's symbolic of our struggle against the system, and the other guy says it's symbolic of our fight against reality.
I think that what we need to understand here is that being a trans person has some level of choice. I mean, certainly it's not the full level of choice, but you decided to go trans after high school and presumably after college. I don't know if you spent any time in college. And so therefore you weren't presented with most of these problems. But if a person decides to transition in high school, then there's just going to be consequences. Now they're going to have to change where they use the bathroom. Now they're going to have to change the clothes that they wear. Now that, there's just consequences to any action, and that's an action.
And there are consequences to every inborn trait that you have. There are consequences to being male. There's consequences to being female. There's consequences to being cis. There's consequences to being trans. There's consequences to being fat and to being skinny. Everything has consequences.
It does, but trans people don't choose to be trans, right?
They choose when to be transition, though.
Well, in some cases, I guess that's sort of true, but environment is the biggest factor there. I don't think I've ever met any trans person who didn't transition at the earliest possible opportunity that their environment allowed them to. I mean, if they could do that when they're 12 because they're 12 years old in the year 2020 and it's just generally more acceptable, good for them. But for a lot of people, they had to wait until their early or mid-20s. And that sucks. But I don't know if it's necessarily a choice or something that, they finally had the opportunity to do, so they finally pursued it. But the whole thing is a mess.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. The whole thing is just a mess, and I don't have an answer. I wish I did, especially being a trans person, but man, I don't know. You people figure this out. 855-450-3733.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com.
Ever wanted to hook up with an attractive woman, but you couldn't because you were already in a relationship? Ever wanted to earn high income on low work hours? I'm Caleb Jones, and I've taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low work, high income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at Bitcoin.com. That's Bitcoin.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,566, silver at $17.48, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,412. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as resistance to U.S. troop presence in both Iraq and Syria gained steam, a rare scuffle between Syrian civilians and U.S. forces broke out Wednesday, resulting in the death of one Syrian, believed to be a civilian, and the wounding of another. Mint Press News reports that a U.S. soldier was also reportedly injured in the scuffle. The event is likely to escalate tensions, especially in the northeastern region where the incident took place, as Syria, Iraq, and Iran have pushed for an end to the U.S. troop presence in the region, following the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Several companies that are developing medical treatments from psychedelic drugs like LSD, ketamine, and psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, are getting ready to list on Canadian stock exchanges. The Mind Unleashed reports that one of the companies, Mind Medicine Inc., has been involved in clinical trials of psychedelic-based drugs and aims to list on Toronto's INEO exchange by the first week of March. J.R. Ron, the company's co-founder and co-chief executive officer, told Bloomberg. And MindMed Inc. isn't the only company reaching into the deep waters of developing psychedelic medicines. There are a growing number of companies that are conducting or beginning to administer clinical trials of psychedelic treatments for things such as depression to post-traumatic stress disorder. Some trials have even received the blessings of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In late 2018, the FDA stated that psilocybin was a breakthrough therapy via a drug developed by London-based Compass Pathways Limited for clinical depression. Self-declared Venezuelan interim president Juan Guaido may have been given a hero's welcome at President Trump's State of the Union address last week, but he certainly did not receive the same treatment after he touched down in Caracas on Tuesday. His very presence was enough to turn those present, including airport employees, into an enraged mob, hectoring, jeering, and manhandling him, kicking his car and covering him in water and other liquids. Mint Press News reports that video shows an angry female immigration employee shouting, quote, "You are a traitor to our country," end quote, as his passport is getting checked. Others yelled murderer and fascist at the controversial opposition politician. Guaido was roughed up in a scrum of angry Venezuelans, his shirt ripped and his pride dented. Another video shows an airline employee chasing him through the arrivals lounge, pouring beer on him, expressing her contempt for him. He escaped in his car as onlookers pelted it with traffic cones, chanting that he was trash and a murderer. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Interesting new ad campaign from Applebee's, which is encouraging customers to visit the restaurant ironically.
They're designed to attract young people to Applebee's by inviting them to ridicule its food, service, and atmosphere. Here, take a look.
What do you guys want to do?
We could go to Applebee's. No, let's seriously go to Applebee's.
Okay.
Look, guys, it's grilled.
It's just like my neighborhood restaurant, only completely geographically non-specific.
Yeah, nothing like a wild time at Applebee's, right?
Applebee's. Wouldn't it be funny to go to Applebee's?
I like
Isn't that
it.
persuasive?
Yeah.
But, they're not resting on their laurels. They're adding new menu items designed to be ridiculed outright, like the fajita cordon bleu and the chicken strip explosion.
Those sound ridiculous.
I know, but, so far this has been so successful that Applebee's is actually prepping a second series of ads aimed at customers who enjoy making fun of annoying young people who do things ironically.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And I've been sick for like the last 2.5 weeks with the flu. And one of the most irritating things about it is that almost everyone has asked me, do you have the coronavirus? First of all, I probably wouldn't know.
Do you even drink beer?
Not Corona. I have a friend who drinks Corona, but no, I prefer like Long Island iced tea and shots of vodka and wine. Gratuitous amounts of wine. But hey, it's wine, so it's all good. But apparently a lot of people are like scared, legitimately scared. Even people who I would expect to be above the hysteria seem to be scared of the coronavirus. Do you remember the clown sightings in like 2016?
Oh, yeah, those are hilarious.
They were. I think in light of how we've not learned anything about it, is either evidence that, or not evidence, but it's suggestive of it. Either it was a CIA operation to study the spreads of hysteria, or it was a viral marketing campaign for the movie It that caused a bit too much of a problem, so they pulled the plug on it and never took responsibility for it.
Or it could have been a 4chan prank, or...
It could have, but there would have been a trace of that somewhere. Right? There would have been screenshots of board members discussing it.
Well, and if it was specifically 4chan, that's true, or 8chan, which we know about those, and those are out there. But I'm sure there are groups of people out there that nobody knows about that do weird things sometimes. Just you're having a discussion on some email list, and somebody says, "Let's do this," and okay, they go out and do it. But
there were never any screenshots of that. Never any evidence of any people planning this. And there were
well,
schools.
If you have no defectors, there won't be.
There were schools that were put under lockdown simply because someone thought they saw a clown nearby. There were and of course you had people who were actively going out and taking pictures of clowns that other people had cited, saying, "Oh, I just saw this down the street here," lying for the attention, which just spread the hysteria even further. Until you had people posting on Facebook, "I swear to God, I wish I'd see a clown. I'd shoot him right in the face." Like, hold on. This is just a clown.
Maybe he's just going to a birthday party.
Yeah, this is just some person whose job is to like make kids laugh and stuff. Will you calm down? And I even wrote an article back then about the hysteria that this revealed and how it taught me that when someone is being hysterical, you cannot talk them out of that. They're fully insane at that point, because there were people going around going, you better pray that the clowns don't come get you. What? How hysterical do you have to be saying things like this, right? But she was convinced.
And there was never a case of one of these people doing violence.
Ever.
It was just a matter of people were occasionally showing up dressed like clowns.
Which is creepy outside of context, which makes me think that, it probably was a viral marketing campaign for the movie It that was being remade and releasing the year after, I think in 2017. So the timeline would make sense, but, people started freaking out and schools were put on lockdown and people were threatening to shoot clowns and all kinds of crap. So they were like, nope. We're never taking responsibility for this.
And of course, the other side of this of the hysteria angle is the copycat angle, where there may have been people who had nothing to do with whatever. And I think this has to have started out as some kind of a group activity, but there may also have been people who had nothing to do with the original group, but heard on the news that people were showing up dressed as clowns wherever these people showed up, and everybody was freaking out about it and said, well, wouldn't it be hilarious if I dressed up like a clown and showed up here? And people freaked out about it. And so there's also the copycat angle.
And we are seeing something very similar now in regard to the coronavirus, and hysteria has a habit of building on itself, right? I was talking with a few people I know about some supply issues that might happen in regard to some of the IT equipment they buy. And they were like, our suppliers are telling us that we may experience disruptions. And so this is the real deal. We might have disruptions. See, they might not be able to make what we want or what we want to purchase. I mean, it's a real thing. I was like, well, there's a lot of mights in that, right? Like nothing has happened yet. You're all just speculating based on hysteria.
Well, I mean, based on the unknown. Have you ever seen the videos of cats on the internet encountering novel situations and not knowing how to deal with these novel situations because it's outside their experience?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Well, okay.
It sounds like there's at least one specific example that you could give.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see the first time a cat encounters a mirror.
Okay.
And it's like, they're like, oh, what do I do with this mirror? Do I fight it? Is it another cat? And of course, we know the ironic conclusion, which is the image in the mirror is the same cat, but the cat doesn't know that right up. And so it's just analogous that when something new comes along, we don't know what's going to happen, and we want to be prepared for all the eventualities, but we don't want to overcommit and do something that turns out to be inappropriate in the long run.
Well, the new coronavirus has evidently killed more than 1,100 people in China, making it more deadly than SARS, which was a similar concern, I don't know, like a decade ago was the SARS thing. Plus you had the bird flu, H1N1, swine flu, all of these other little sicknesses, viruses, whatever, that were just going to be epidemics and were just going to affect the entire planet. And we need the World Health Organization to quarantine everyone, and government's just not doing enough to keep us safe. And that's the stance that Fox News is taking here. That's right, the conservative, quote, conservative Fox News, arguing that the Center for Disease Control needs to be more proactive. They need to be doing more. The government needs more money. And they need that money to fight the spread of this disease that hasn't really infected very many people in the United States. I think the flu is a bigger concern at this point to people than the coronavirus. I know a lot of people who have had the flu just this month and last month, myself among them. I don't know anyone who has had the coronavirus. So why would we give the CDC money to do something about the coronavirus instead of the flu?
Well, the coronavirus is unknown. And the unknownedness is compounded by the fact that most of this action is taking place in China, and we know that the Chinese government is... We recognize that the Chinese government is evil. Unfortunately, most people haven't come to recognize the reality that the United States government is also evil. But we know that the Chinese government is evil. We know that everything that happens, they lie about. They never tell the truth. They always say that which is advantageous to them. So they're completely untrustworthy. So we're reasoning from insufficient information. We don't know if there are 500,000 people quarantined in China. Some people believe that there are.
I heard it was 500 million.
Well, that's also a possibility.
That's the issue.
We just don't know what's really happening.
All of these statements about what is going on in China, what's actually going on that their government isn't telling us about. I want to hear those stories, but all I'm finding are YouTube videos. And I've got to tell you, on the list of things that I find trustworthy, YouTube videos is, it's the domain of flat earth people, right? It's where people go to make their flat earth videos.
But it's also where people go to tell the story the government doesn't want heard, because where else are you going to go?
I don't know. What do you think is going on in China? 855-450-3733. Again, that's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
I can definitely say that I have found the best cryptocurrency wallet. Certainly the best named one. I'm Mark Edge, and I love the Edge wallet. I've been using it for the last few months. You can buy, sell, trade, and hold your cryptocurrency securely. I trust my holdings of all the major cryptocurrencies to Edge wallet, and you should too. No long phrases to memorize, just a username and password. Secure your freedom with Edge wallet. Get it now on Apple or Android in the App Store or at edge.app.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
What is it costing you in vet bills for that convenience of just pulling open a bag of
formulated, extruded, processed cereal bits that cost a ton of money anyways?
How do you feed your dog to derive not only energy, but a good coat, bright eyes, and a great attitude?
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
I found his raw meat diet on Dynovite.com with just the raw meat and the eggs and the Dynovite and the Super Omega on top of it.
Try Super Omega Fish Oil.
Buy 2, get 1 free.
Ground beef, white rice, eggs, including the shells, and the Dynovite supplement, and then the Lico Chops.
Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
It just balances out his body and his mind and his spirit.
Adding Dynovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
Their skin is so much better now that they're on the raw diet. I don't even give them the kibble anymore.
DINOVITE.com.
There is no such thing as attention span, according to Jerry Seinfeld, who figures that people have an infinite attention span if you are entertaining them. Hey, he's kept us from channel surfing for several decades, and now he's making more millions as a Las Vegas headliner. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're looking for work. So choose every single word as though it was the last word the person you're speaking to will hear. Otherwise, it might be. Avoid redundancies such as added bonus, advance warning, end result, prior history, or personal belongings. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Well, now with AnyPay, you can earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. So finally, you have a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you receive the rewards. Now, these rewards are also instant. There's no waiting for weeks or months for your payout. No, as soon as that purchase is made using Bitcoin Cash and Dash at one of these businesses that you get on board using AnyPay, you get the commission. Just download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. That's anypayinc.com. Plus, customers who use Bitcoin Cash and Dash will... if you work it out with AnyPay, but that's really simple. They have a form and all of that. They will get Dash back or Bitcoin Cash back. It's a cool little program. It's more incentive to spend Bitcoin Cash and Dash if you have it. I'm like, why wouldn't you want to get 10% off just for using cryptocurrency off of every purchase?
Yeah, I certainly, I'm generally hesitant to spend cryptocurrency because, I have to pay a premium in order to get it back. But if there's a bonus on spending cryptocurrency, then I'm much more likely to spend it. It's like a built-in crypto discount that the brick and mortar business doesn't have to pay for.
Yep. Well, let's go to the plus. A lot of these places like Route 101 Goods, which is becoming a convenience store, offer a 5% discount on top of that if you use cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
So you're ultimately dealing with, I think it would probably work out to be like 14.2% off because of the math or something, because you're paying them back, so you're getting 5% less of that 10% back. It's, how percentages are.
Yeah.
It's complicated. But yeah, so somewhere between like 15% off, right? And who doesn't like that? Let's go to the phones. We've got Mortified Penguin calling from discord.freetalklive.com. Mortified Penguin, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey guys, just a little bonus call. I heard nobody say that people know that the Chinese government is evil, but they don't know necessarily that the U.S. government is evil. And I think that's probably taken to be people in the U.S. Generally, especially looking around with the election and everything. But really, when you think about it, people obviously know the U.S. government is evil. How many movies, especially back in the 90s? Every other movie and TV show was kind of hinting at there is a evil, the government's pretty scary and pretty evil thing. And I think people around the world are very, very well aware that the entity that's called itself the United States, the actual governmental entity is very evil. And there's no doubt about that from outside the United States. But, within the United States, it's probably the same as within China. It's the same attitude of like, yeah, we know they're pretty bad, but what are you going to do? They're the guys in charge, I'm pretty sure it's the exact same attitude.
I'm not convinced that most Americans agree that the American government is evil, though. Like Bernie Sanders just won New Hampshire, and most of the people I know who voted for him seem to operate under the idea that with the right people in government, it can be used as a force for good, where their belief is essentially that we have evil people in charge now. But if we put good people there, then it will be good.
Well, we're taught from such a young age, from like the age of 5, and indoctrinated to think that that system works. So, I mean, and likewise.
We seem to have lost you there.
Morty.
I'm here.
Oh, you're back.
As you were saying?
Oh, okay. Maybe that didn't come through. I was saying that, I mean, people were indoctrinated from like the age of 5 on, in the system work. The system works, that there's some value to the political system, that you can maybe, change things for the better through the system. And the people in China probably believe likewise, pretty much the same thing.
Well, is there an illusion of democracy or voting having any real significance in China like there is in the United States? Because that seems to be what largely propagates the United States government and keeps it going, is this myth that people have that what they vote for matters, and that they exert some level of control over the American government. Does that same thing exist in China?
I mean, I have a great call one of these days that I want to talk something about that. But I think that people value, in China especially, value stability and economic growth, and they certainly have that like in droves. And a lot of that is because, maybe the policies of the government to some extent, I mean, how hollow is it? How sustainable is it? But like, that's what people want. And same with the U.S. government. I mean, it's basically stability, economic prosperity. What's going to happen? What would happen with, a different way of organizing society? It's a big unknown. So people want that sort of all different sorts of security in their lives.
Good point. Well, Mortified Penguin, thank you very much for the call. I want to know what is actually happening in China, but as you pointed out, I
certainly don't want to go and find out, though, which is the only way to find out is go see for myself, but I don't want to go to China and find out.
I don't know that I don't want to, It seems like if the rumors about what's happening in China are true, like the government, what was it, putting steel over apartment doors to quarantine people?
Yeah. That's something. There's a Chinese Twitter account that I ran across, and this is apparently someone who is ethnically Chinese. I don't know where he was born, and he appears to be some sort of a scientist, and posting video, and I've definitely seen the videos that look very strange of Chinese, well, I can't tell if they're Chinese, but people in hazmat suits that are welding iron plates over the doors of apartment buildings, and that's something you don't see. I saw another thing that I saw was a video of a guy trying to climb down the side of an apartment building who was like 20 stories high and then falling, one would assume, to his death. And one has to wonder, well, why was he climbing down the outside of his apartment building? And maybe he was crazy, or maybe he was trying to escape because he couldn't.
And then again, it could just be the person on Twitter wanting attention and making things up in the same way that the people did over the clown sightings. It's a good time to make yourself the center of attention by doctoring footage or just taking...
It's certainly possible, although these videos were not made by one person.
Right.
If somebody staged that scene, it took a lot of people and money.
Well, you can also just find some scene that's totally unrelated that happened 5 or 6 years prior.
Yeah.
That just wasn't very popular at the time.
Yeah, especially if there's no sound or the sound is in Chinese.
This is Free Talk Live.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org. Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary, and does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Free Talk Live.
3-year-old child lost his arm after being viciously attacked by a pit bull terrier earlier this month.
Gosh.
Now the incident has moved a state lawmaker to author legislation that will effectively ban the pit bull breed in the entire state of Oklahoma.
Wow. Wouldn't all of Mr. Wesselhoff's constituents be a little safer if we all just couldn't have any dogs at all?
That's true. It would guarantee that no one would be bitten by dogs.
Right, and no
What
cats.
about cats? They scratch people.
They do scratch people, and it leaves a nasty infection.
It could, certainly.
Certainly.
We should ban infections, too, while we're at it. I mean, while we're protecting everyone from everything.
Birds can carry the flu. We know that.
You know, we should just exterminate all animals with teeth.
Well, forget the teeth. The birds have no teeth. I say we kill them all.
Just every animal.
Yeah.
Okay. What about insects? You could just sign a law that bans mosquitoes.
That'd be great.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. The LRN.FM social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
The political world is a maddening cesspool of corruption and lies. Nobody tells the truth. Nobody keeps campaign promises. Nobody obeys the Constitution. Nobody puts the people first. How can we ever escape this web of tyranny? Vote for nobody.
Hi, my name is Nobody. I'm running for governor of New Hampshire because nobody knows how to live your life better than you do, and nobody deserves that kind of power. I want to put you back in control of your money, your lifestyle, your work, your body, and your life. Nobody should rule you but you. New Hampshire convicts many people of so-called crimes that should never have been prosecuted. If elected, I will pardon every victimless crime in New Hampshire history. This includes drug, gambling, prostitution, gun, and driving offenses. Nobody should have a criminal record when they have not harmed anybody.
Wouldn't it be nice to have nobody telling you what to do? Learn more at electnobody.com. electnobody.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And Nobody.
And the next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to spend, earn, store, and exchange digital money in seconds. Divvy says you'll be able to send money around the globe in only a swipe. and instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app and withdraw directly to your bank account. But there's no need to wait, as Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with their multi-tiered masternodes that allows anyone to earn by supporting the Divvy network. When the new wallet launches, because of Divvy's relationship with Western Union, Divvy will be in more than 200 countries, including the United States. You can learn more at divvyproject.org. That's DIVI project.org. Now, Rich, you found a Twitter feed. What do you call those on Twitter? It's not on Facebook. It's a wall, I guess.
Yeah, I guess I would say a Twitter page, maybe, but I don't know. A Twitter account, a guy on Twitter,
and it's from what I'm confused by his tone. Is he taking really passive aggressive shots at the Chinese government in some of these tweets?
I think that a lot of what he's saying is deeply sarcastic.
That was the impression I got, but parody, Poe's law. It's impossible to distinguish it from sincerity.
Yeah. And, one of the problems of the internet is, I will sometimes see something on the internet and respond with, "You're an idiot." And people will say, "Well, I was being sarcastic." The problem is there are so many deeply stupid people in the world that it's hard to see something and say, "Well, nobody could be stupid enough to actually believe that," because there are people who believe in the flat Earth.
Now, like here, there's this tweet where it says, "Very sick, infected person with just the flu volunteers for quarantine," and yeah, so I tend to think you're correct.
Yeah, and that one is a video of the Chinese, of a bunch of Chinese guys in hazmat suits.
No, this one is not.
Okay.
This is a girl in handcuffs being arrested.
Oh, okay.
And he captioned it as, she's volunteering for the quarantine.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's definitely passive aggressive. Oh, yeah. Okay. See, I wish I had seen these a moment ago before I even asked, because here's a video of people actually engaging in fist fights that he captions, "Fighting for a spot in the quarantine." So,
right.
Yeah, he's definitely being passive aggressive here. Anyway, we're going to send out a link to this here in just a moment. There's not much that I can actually get into here on the air, but it's a fascinating Twitter page is the word we're going with.
Okay, I'm down with that. Yeah, and that same account does have the videos of people welding steel plates over apartment entrances, and it's also where they have the guy falling off the apartment building, presumably to his death.
See, I don't know how far down those are. That's what I was looking for, but I didn't find those. I assume they're fairly far down. There's a lot of tweets just in the last 24 hours alone.
Yeah, and I saw this yesterday, so I haven't even seen what's at the top of this Twitter feed today. I saw what was at the top of this Twitter feed. Twitter feed, I think that's what you're supposed to call it.
Well, the feed is
yesterday.
Different. What is it? I guess you're right. It is his Twitter feed. I hate Twitter, though. I really do.
I hate all the social media platforms, which doesn't stop me from spending a lot of time using them.
So what is really happening in China? This person says, "I'm in China. Here's what's really happening." But this article is from January the 31st. So it's almost 2 weeks old at this point. There have been a lot of developments, a lot of rumors going on about Wuhan and China since then.
And the other thing you have to keep in mind is that China operates on two calendars. There's both the lunar calendar and there's the Gregorian calendar. And so if somebody says something happened in January, there are like two dates that a particular date in January.
The article was written for the Huffington Post on January the 31st.
Okay, because I've heard recordings of phone calls where somebody said, "Oh, this happened in December," and it's like, well, which December?
Yeah. This person, Peter Zhu, says the Wuhan coronavirus has dominated the news cycle lately around the world. It still is. My brother Harry and I had been planning a trip to China, but we ended up postponing it, basically. They told us that it would be hard. Our parents told us that it would be hard for them to take time to spend with us in the coming months, and that the risk seemed low. I'm confused already.
Yeah, one rarely...
There's nothing happening, but we're not going to be able to make the time to actually spend with you if you come here.
Right. Of course, that could also have been a coded communication, because the thing is, you have to be very careful what to say if you're in China, because if you say something the Chinese government doesn't like, they will cut your organs out and give them to somebody else.
Or at the very least, they will decrease your social credit score.
That too.
I think you're right, but why wouldn't this person who's in the United States just... Well, because they didn't want to get their parents in trouble, I guess.
Oh, well, that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, anytime you deal with a totalitarian state, there's
and they're
everything
fully
has
totalitarian.
to be taken. Huh?
They're fully totalitarian. Like the NSA, they can read every text message sent, every email sent. And we know that. And the Chinese government, of course, they have the same capabilities. They've built those capabilities into their chat software, like WeChat and all of the others. I don't remember which ones they use, but I mean, the Chinese government has direct access to all of them.
Of course, the U.S. government does similar things. They just lie about it. For example, they bought a Swiss company that sold strong encryption software.
Yes, the CIA did this. It was just in the news.
In cooperation, I think, with the German, one of the German goon squads, where they bought a crypto company, and I don't mean cryptocurrency, I mean just cryptography, and sold a bunch of backdoored cryptography software to foreign governments, and then very happily read all of their transmissions during the Cold War.
This is why open source software is so important. And I don't want to go all Mr. Penguin on everybody, but yeah, if it's not open source encryption, then you don't actually know what it's doing.
Yeah, and that's true of all software.
Yeah, but encryption, I would say, is probably the most important one.
Yeah, well, it's hard because when you look at the outgoing stream, all you know is you can't interpret the characters there. You can't turn them back into your original message. But there's no reason to believe that somebody with a particular secret can't do that.
Yeah.
You know, that's what keys are.
And now that we know for a fact that the CIA has purchased encryption companies, built backdoors into them, and then sold them to the general public and sold the backdoors to other governments, it just makes it way more dangerous to trust like Norton Encryption or whatever. Probably has its own backdoor. And the FBI is on record trying to get backdoors to Apple's encryption technology. And Apple presumably resisted that. But then they were like, okay, well, we're not going to encrypt people's backups. Those will be unencrypted.
Right.
So
and of course, every backup is a huge security hole.
Yeah, but it allowed Apple to pretend like they were fighting the FBI while also turning all of that information that the FBI wanted over to the FBI.
Sure.
855-450-3733.
Would you like to get back that full head of hair from years past? Introducing Reveal from GCNlife.com. Beverly Hills dermatologist Dr. Nathan Newman invented Reveal, which contains polypeptides with natural botanicals and no parabens, sulfates, silicones, or dyes for a salon-quality hair growth product. Reveal. Here's Dr. Newman.
I've treated a lot of patients who lose their hair and they lose their confidence. We've created a unique set of polypeptides, which we call HPT6. The HPT6 contains the polypeptides from 6 different plants. The scalp infusion treatment should be used on wet or dry scalp. The Reveal hair care system is designed to be used for men and women alike.
Get Reveal at GCNlife.com with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So try Reveal today at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637. Plus a discount up to 25% off for Reveal at GCNlife.com or 844-443-6637.
Hey everyone, Proactive MD has an incredible offer for our radio listeners only. Stay tuned for our exclusive offer that includes a free charcoal pore cleansing brush and free shipping. Proactive MD with prescription strength adapalene can heal and prevent future breakouts. Today, for just $19.95, we're offering listeners the 3-piece Proactive MD system with free shipping, plus a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. Get this exclusive offer by calling now, 1-800-583-8662, or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. You heard right, Proactive MD, plus free shipping and a free gift, the new charcoal pore cleansing brush. You'll get all this for just $19.95 and their 60-day money-back guarantee. You're guaranteed to get clear and stay clear, or you get your money back. Call now, 1-800-583-8662. That's 1-800-583-8662. Or go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO. Again, go to proactive.com and enter promo code RADIO.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and our main feed that includes everything. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And we're trying to speculate. Well, it's useless to really speculate, but we're discussing the possibilities about what's actually going on in China. And there's just limitless possibilities here. It could be that the coronavirus is a real thing, but that it's nowhere near as big a threat as is being made out to be, and that the Chinese government is simply using the opportunity to round up and kill the dissidents.
Yes. Because
we're also hearing rumors about thousands of people a day being cremated. Is that what the allegation is?
Yeah, that I heard a recording that was in Chinese, of course, so I don't know what they were really saying, but it purported to be an investigative journalist calling a crematorium and impersonating somebody in the Chinese crematorium bureaucracy, and basically saying to this person, well, how are you guys doing? What do you need? And the woman on the other end is saying, well, we're on the edge of collapse. We're handling 5 times as much traffic as we normally have, and we have 110 people working for us, but it's not enough. We need another 50. And we've removed the back seats from our vehicles, and we've pressed vans into services, but we can only get 8 bodies in the van at the time. But of course, I don't speak Chinese. I don't know if that's really what they were saying. I don't know if they're really who they were purported to be. Now, this was put forward by some news agencies, but every news agency in the world lies when the government tells them to lie, and if they didn't, they'd cease to exist.
And you got to think about the major risk of calling a Chinese crematorium pretending to be a Chinese bureaucrat. That's the kind of thing the Chinese government would frown upon.
Well, yeah, and of course the question is, was the person making the call really in China or not? And the answer is, I have no idea.
Excellent points. I mean, there's no way for us to know.
Even if it's a real investigative call, you run the risk of getting the person on the other end of the phone, who is probably in China, killed.
Well, let's go to the
saying
phones.
The wrong thing.
We've got James calling from Arizona. James, you're on Free Talk Live.
Ain't nobody got time for
Aria.
that.
Hi, James.
Aria, literally by using his own words, everything a literal nobody just said is either fake news or real news. But he got plenty of airtime to spew fake news. I should like to talk about why there is no such thing as a transgender athlete.
Okay.
And that it's a problem, and it's a solution in search of a problem. Okay? I'd like to have a discussion with you, because I've heard an imbecile that you're looking at talk a lot about it. And I should like to say, for example, if the NCAA, let me backtrack. Every male athlete I know, and I've been involved in sports my entire life, every self-respecting male athlete I know would happily, referring to a caller from the Mariana Islands, would welcome any woman competing against him anytime. Because, for example, if the NCAA were to recognize the Michigan Wolverines male lacrosse team all of a sudden as females, they literally would never, ever, 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 ever lose a game again in lacrosse against any Division I NCAA women's lacrosse team.
Right.
Just like when you...
I don't know if I would go as far as say they would never, ever win again. Well, I mean, James, we're having a dialogue here. So I don't know if I would go as far as saying that they would never, ever win, but they would certainly...
I know that for a fact. I've been involved in sports all my life, across the board, Aria.
I understand that.
You call yourself a female now, but you notice that a super majority of actual females that you see around Keene, New Hampshire, you're bigger than?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
It's a biological fact.
I know.
It's a biological fact. Nothing that has anything to do with you. It's just a fact.
I'm aware of this.
If I were to wrestle a woman in my weight class, she would always lose. Just as I'm 50 years old, Aria, and I went on a 2-hour run today, and the supermajority of women cannot keep up with me. And I'm way past my prime because I'm a male.
Yeah, I would say that's incorrect, and I guarantee you that you can find a female wrestler out there in your weight class that would stomp you into the ground.
Yeah, they're called 18 years old. I'm 50. When I was 18, that would have been impossible because I'm a male. But let me put it this way. Speaking of the open division,
I mean, there are female MMA fighters out there who would gladly take you up on this challenge.
Aria, do you know what the Masters is?
And I would buy a ticket to see that.
Premier golf tournament. You know if it was open, which it actually already is?
What?
A woman would never win it because guys are just better than girls at everything. It's a fact when it comes to sports because we're bigger, stronger. I can assemble a male varsity.
Look, I get you, and I agree. Yeah, James, hold on. You've gotten plenty of time, so I need you to shut up for a moment.
Okay.
I agree that on average, a man is more physically fit than a woman, and a man is going to win in any sort of athletic competition. It is literally on average, James. Because there are plenty of women out there who will beat men at arm wrestling, sprinting, swimming, kayaking, high jumping. There are plenty of women who will beat men at that. So yes,
there are plenty of women that would beat me in high jumping.
And that's what makes it on average, James.
But when it comes to competitive sports, it's literally a solution in search of a problem. When it comes to competitive sports, girls play against girls and guys play against guys.
So what do we do with the trans athletes?
When you let Aria DiMezzio play against a girl in basketball, if you have even a modicum of skills, you're going to destroy her every time.
Okay, so who do I get to play basketball against, James?
I know.
So who do I get to play basketball against?
Aria?
Who do trans athletes compete against?
They're not welcome to compete against. Let me put it this way, Aria.
They're not welcome to compete against you. You don't get to speak for anyone else.
No, they're in an open division. Any guy would happily compete against a girl if he's self-respecting.
Okay, so you agree. So you agree with Mark that there needs to be an open division where men, women, and trans people or anybody can compete.
This is what the suit is about, Aria. Lee Smith, who I actually know who he is.
I'm asking you for your solution to the problem of where trans athletes are supposed to compete.
There's no such thing as a trans athlete. You're either male or you're female.
Okay, so your answer is that male to female trans people should compete against men, right?
Let me complete this sentence without you interrupting. There is no such thing as transgender athlete. Any self-respecting male would happily compete against a female. But the reverse, by definition, is literally not fair. You get it? Because Lee Smith's son would never lose to any girl in a high school event. But Lee Smith's daughter would lose to a guy competing as a girl in the events his daughter competes in. Because it's not fair. It's like you're bigger than every woman in Keene with very few exceptions. Isn't that correct, Aria?
No, there are plenty of women who I personally know who are bigger than I am. There are plenty of them. A lot of them are more muscular.
Some. Wait. Don't lie to me. Plenty or some.
I'm not lying to you.
A super minority. As in a super minority. A super majority of women that are actually born female in your town, you're bigger than, stronger than, and are more capable physically of doing anything they can, literally because you were born James DiMezzio.
James, I want to thank you for the call and for the actual legitimate attempt at holding a rational conversation. I actually appreciated that conversation. I think your solution is ultimately that male to female people should just have to compete with the men. I don't agree with that assessment either. What do you think? 855-450-3733.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McElvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
Have you ever wanted to work when you wanted to work instead of having to report to an office? Have you ever felt trapped by relationship rules like monogamy? I'm Caleb Jones, and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free, live, on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. What if you want to hear the latest episode of Free Talk Live, but all you have is your phone, you forgot to download our archive, and you have no data connection? You can call our Listen line at 641-793-0191. That's a long-distance number, so you may incur charges. If not, listen as long as you want. 641-793-0191. The Free Talk Live Listen line, 641-793-0191.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network and listeners like you. Online at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow with your latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,566, silver at $17.48, and Bitcoin is trading around $10,412. Today's gold, silver, and Bitcoin prices are brought to you by Brave Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Brave Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven. The Liberty Beat and Brave Botanicals believe so strongly in the power of kratom, we're giving it away for free. Just go to libertybeat.news/free kratom. This is the Liberty Beat at snlsnetwork.com. In the news, as resistance to U.S. troop presence in both Iraq and Syria gained steam, a rare scuffle between Syrian civilians and U.S. forces broke out Wednesday, resulting in the death of one Syrian, believed to be a civilian, and the wounding of another. Mint Press News reports that a U.S. soldier was also reportedly injured in the scuffle. The event is likely to escalate tensions, especially in the northeastern region where the incident took place, as Syria, Iraq, and Iran have pushed for an end to the U.S. troop presence in the region, following the killing of Iranian General Qasem Soleimani. Ever wonder where we find all the news to report right here on the Liberty Beat? Visit snls.news to get the world's most censored media published all in one place. Save yourself from the endless time spent searching for reliable alternative media. SNLS News makes it quick and easy. No ads, no clickbait, just raw headlines, 24 hours a day. Visit snls.news and get informed today without the corporate media spin. Your news now continues. Several companies that are developing medical treatments from psychedelic drugs like LSD, ketamine, and psilocybin, the active ingredient in magic mushrooms, are getting ready to list on Canadian stock exchanges. The Mind Unleashed reports that one of the companies, Mind Medicine Inc., has been involved in clinical trials of psychedelic-based drugs and aims to list on Toronto's INEO exchange by the first week of March. J.R. Ron, the company's co-founder and co-chief executive officer, told Bloomberg. And MindMed Inc. isn't the only company reaching into the deep waters of developing psychedelic medicines. There are a growing number of companies that are conducting or beginning to administer clinical trials of psychedelic treatments for things such as depression to post-traumatic stress disorder. Some trials have even received the blessings of the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. In late 2018, the FDA stated that psilocybin was a breakthrough therapy via a drug developed by London-based Compass Pathways Limited for clinical depression. Self-declared Venezuelan interim president Juan Guaido may have been given a hero's welcome at President Trump's State of the Union address last week. But he certainly did not receive the same treatment after he touched down in Caracas on Tuesday. His very presence was enough to turn those present, including airport employees, into an enraged mob, hectoring, jeering, and manhandling him, kicking his car and covering him in water and other liquids. Mint Press News reports that video shows an angry female immigration employee shouting, quote, "You are a traitor to our country," end quote, as his passport is getting checked. Others yelled murderer and fascist at the controversial opposition politician. Guaido was roughed up in a scrum of angry Venezuelans, his shirt ripped and his pride dented. Another video shows an airline employee chasing him through the arrivals lounge, pouring beer on him, expressing her contempt for him. He escaped in his car as onlookers pelted it with traffic cones, chanting that he was trash and a murderer. Support for the Liberty Beat is brought to you by the Homestead Guru. The Homestead Guru is an educational website offering tips, tools, news, stories, and commentary on everything homesteading. Topics include green homes, gardening, animal husbandry, do-it-yourself, home remedies, alternative energy, survivalism, unschooling, and more. Those details are found online at thehomestead.guru. This is the Liberty Beat, powered by the SNLS Network at snlsnetwork.com. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting for the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Well, today was an historic occasion in Pennington.
That's right, Diane. The entire town turned out to honor Paul Webster, the area's one gay man, with Pennington's first ever Gay Pride Parade. Paul, a 33-year-old hardware store owner, was too shy to ask for a parade, but that didn't stop almost 2,000 residents from showing their support for his homosexuality. Mayor Sue Hallinan organized the parade and even chipped in some of her own money to pay for decorations.
Well, I was channel surfing one day and I came across a program about the Gay Pride. Next time I went to the hardware store, I said, "Paul, we're going to throw you a parade." And he just said, "Oh, please don't do that. I don't want that. I beg you." He just didn't want us to go to the trouble.
He doesn't want to ride on the penis float. He gets motion sickness, so we're going to have him hold the reins instead.
And Penningtonians have already decided on a fairy tale theme for next year's parade.
Oh, that'll be great.
And if Paul has a boyfriend, they can both be dressed up as kings.
Terrific idea.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733, in which tonight it's Aria.
And nobody.
And you know, I've been thinking more about this trans athlete situation, and I'm not sure whether I actually have any objection to male to female athletes being socially expected to compete against men. Except for the fact that, you know, testosterone blockers and estrogen and all of that will give them a disadvantage. They are, in the strictest of terms, putting that challenge on themselves. It's a self-imposed challenge.
Well, that's true. And the other thing is, every athlete in the world has a set of limitations that exist due to their genetic code that they didn't choose. I mean, I will...
Sure. I mean, no matter how much a person wants to, a person who's like 5'6" generally is not going to be one of the world's best basketball players, right?
Exactly. And it's not their fault. They're 5'6". They didn't choose it. But it's reality. And that was what I meant by the symbolic of their fight against reality is there's no way to make life fair. That's reality. Life is fundamentally unfair. Some people are born in the United States and some people are born in China. And some people are if you're born in a horrible place, that's fundamentally unfair, but we can't change it.
No, but there is room for people who are very short to become good basketball players. It's rare.
Well, if there's enough, you could have a midget league.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far. I mean,
I'm sure there are midget basketball leagues out there.
I think they prefer to be called little people.
Yeah, that's cool too.
I think there was at least one basketball player in the mid-'90s who was like 5'2" or something.
Huh.
I don't remember. I will have to. We need to get my fact-checking team out here on discord.freetalklive.com to look into that.
Do we have a fact-checking team?
I apparently do.
Wow, nice.
It's mostly just people nitpicking my off-the-cuff statements, as one would expect.
Well, that's a good thing. I love the idea of having somebody nitpicking my off-the-cuff statements because, I never know if what I say or believe is correct.
No, and more often than not, I don't even really care because it's usually something minor or trivial that isn't important to the actual point that was being made anyway. Like whether or not there was a basketball player who was 5'2" is irrelevant because we all know that there have in fact been shorter basketball players. They're not all 7'4", Yeah. In fact, most of them are not.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if there are enough 7'4" people in the world to make up a league.
Probably not. But yeah, so what do you tell that 5'6" person who wants to be a basketball player? You would tell them the same thing that you would tell a male to female person who wanted to be a track runner. Well, the odds are against you here. You're going to have to work harder than everyone else, and you have an unfair disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just reality,
Right.
I like that idea better than I like the idea of putting some 110-pound cheerleader type girl in the NFL to get tackled by, I don't know, some linebacker, right?
Okay, I might buy a ticket to see that once, but I wouldn't make a habit of it. Of course, I don't watch football at all because, sports ball is just, I don't see it. It doesn't interest me in general.
It's a useful distraction at times.
I like watching mixed martial arts because, that's a sport that I might have to play with no choice on my part, and so I want to know how to do it well.
Well, watching probably isn't the best way to learn, though.
Well, no, but when I was studying martial arts, I did supplement it by watching MMA and by saying, oh, okay, well, he tried this technique and that didn't work out real well for him, did it?
Yeah. So we're dealing with the Wuhan coronavirus, whatever they're calling it right now, and
of
Kung course
flu, I call it.
And of course, someone at discord.freetalklive.com has in fact found a little person basketball league and shared a link to it because of course they did. Yeah. So if anyone's curious about that, go to discord.freetalklive.com. Yeah. Evidently, it's got a mortality rate at this point of 2%. In contrast,
my God, what are they doing to these poor little people?
Did I switch subjects without giving any indication whatsoever?
Okay. So it's not the little people basketball league that has a 2% mortality rate because that would be horrific.
No, sorry,
I'd have to wonder what rules they were playing under.
No, I jumped right back to the coronavirus. Sorry.
Oh, okay, groovy.
It's got a mortality rate of roughly 2%. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's poor little guys. What are they doing to them?
The Spanish flu, of course, of 1918 had a mortality rate of 2.5%, which was a global catastrophe, killing more people than World War I. But, of course, it was much more widespread. That's not to say this coronavirus, the Kung flu, or the 2008 NOV corona, whatever the hell it is they're calling it, isn't going to spread to those degrees.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing is if you compare the death rate of the Kung flu to the death rate of SARS, the first major difference is the SARS outbreak is over.
Yeah,
the Kung flu outbreak is not anywhere near over.
No, and it seems to be just starting. Evidently, people are criticizing the World Health Organization, the CDC, and just governments in general for not doing enough to solve the problem. Realistically, what do they expect? Like, I saw a speaker at the World Health Organization saying, these viruses don't respect borders and ideologies. Are we seriously insane enough as a species that we would have any expectation whatsoever that viruses would respect national borders? Are they really that wrapped up in their delusions about national sovereignty?
I don't think so. I think that's just one of those pointing out the obvious things like physics doesn't care about your feelings. Well, of course, everybody knows that, but sometimes you have to point it out.
Okay, that's a better interpretation than what I initially went with. I just got caught up in the absurdity of someone actually saying that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, duh.
And the thing is, but sometimes people will make statements that almost imply the opposite, like, this is a problem in China, but it's not a problem here. And, well, the virus doesn't care. And if you bring the virus here, it will probably do the same thing here it does in China.
Now, what's scary is that all of this could be just an excuse for government to create a much stricter passport immigration control system.
Yeah.
Where, okay, you're worried about people coming over here and getting us sick. The Republicans would have a field day with this. This is why we need the wall. Can you imagine if this coronavirus had originated in Mexico or Cambodia or some South American country? It would just be a disaster. The wall would be up. They would have no difficulty whatsoever getting this approved by Congress, running solely off people's hysteria that they're going to catch this and they're going to die.
And I think that's one of the reasons that there are so many crazy people in the world is how do you deal with the epistemological implications of living in a world where there are no trustworthy sources for anything?
You just have to hope you have a better immune system. And you have to trust the natural selective processes that the people with better immune systems will survive and the people without will not.
Well, evolution, baby.
This is Free Talk Live.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with omega-6, omega-3, vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
Don't miss this year's LibertyCon with great speakers like Whole Foods CEO John Mackey, Congressman Justin Amash, and Nobel Prize winner Vernon Smith. Attend 2 spectacular debates. Is government necessary? And does capitalism require government intervention? Network with over 70 pro-liberty organizations. This and a whole lot more. April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C. Visit LibertyCon.com and use code FTL for a $10 discount on LibertyCon.com.
Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. Local.bitcoin.com.
Hi, I'm Derek J. I don't want a politician to represent me. To me, government is the idea that one group of people can coerce everyone to comply with an edict or face increasing punishments up to and including death. Despite perhaps the most noble of intentions, the best government services are a far cry from what could be provided for by voluntary interactions. Besides, the people who call themselves the government wage wars and put peaceful people in jail for crimes involving no victims. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Do you want more businesses accepting Bitcoin Cash and Dash? Now with AnyPay, you earn passive income for every purchase at those businesses. Finally, a financial incentive to spread Bitcoin Cash and Dash. You made it happen, so you get the rewards. Download the AnyPay Cash Register app and add your cryptocurrency wallet addresses. Then install it at a real-life business and tell us what you did at anypayinc.com. anypayinc.com.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. And with you tonight, it's Aria.
And the nobody formerly known as Rich Paul.
And I've got a Liberty update for you from LibertyCon. Two very special debates that you won't want to miss. First, whether or not government is necessary, featuring David Freeman and Timothy Sandifer. Secondly, does capitalism require government intervention? I'd really like to see that one because it's going to depend almost entirely on what definition of capitalism they're using.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because to me, as soon as you have a police force, as soon as you to
me, I would say as soon as you have government intervention, you no longer have capitalism.
Exactly.
So,
the means of production of security are now nationalized and owned by the government. So that's the first step to socialism.
Well, that's your opinion. Gene Epstein and Stephen Pearlstein are going to have a debate on the topic. There's also going to be John Mackey, the Whole Foods CEO, who's going to speak on conscious capitalism.
Okay.
Be part of LibertyCon. It's a unique Liberty convention, April the 3rd through the 5th in Washington, D.C., for people who want to network with more than 70 pro-liberty organizations for career advancement, business, or internship opportunities. Visit libertycon.com for more details on the incredible list of speakers, events, and student discounts. That's libertycon.com. Use code FTL for a $10 discount. I tend to subscribe to the definition of capitalism as the free market, right?
Right.
But most people don't. They
think that what we have now, which I would call corporatism, they think it's capitalism.
See, I just call it fascism. Because socialism would be the state controlling these companies directly, and fascism is the state controlling the companies through controlling the corporations that control the companies.
Yeah, and the word corporatism that's actually what Mussolini called the economic system of Italian fascism, where it was basically an unholy alliance of big government, big labor, and big business to screw the rest of us.
Which is exactly what we have now.
Exactly.
It's a slight improvement over raw socialism, because there is at least some competition between AT&T and Verizon. But at the end of the day, the state does control what both of those companies are allowed to do.
Right. And because everything's licensed, the thing is, if you're not one of the cool kids, you don't get to play at all.
Let's go to the phones. We've got David calling from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, your tax dollars at work. Once again in New Mexico, the most corrupt state of the nation, according to the FBI. And this time we have
the
city
most corrupt
councilor.
law enforcement agency in America.
Yes. City Councilor Clarissa Pena recently traveled on business from New Mexico to the East Coast for several different government functions. And I was reading in various different sources while I was waiting here. To fly to the East Coast, and she attended two different conferences, I guess, while she was out there. The total cost was $6,300, and it was a 12-day trip. And the airfares portion was like $3,200, something like that, and the hotels were $2,000 something. And the kicker is that the city paid for her husband and her two grandchildren to travel along with to keep her company. And there's a good quote here.
Isn't it great that homeless people are taxed on a cup of coffee so they can help pay for that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you remember that actually you are taxed for this kind of thing in New Mexico as well, because New Mexico pays the least amount of federal taxes per capita than any state. It's the poorest state that pay the least taxes, but they also receive a lot of federal assistance, which means that federal assistance is coming from the tax dollars of people in every other state as much or actually more than it's coming from people in the state of New Mexico. So you guys are actually paying for this. And then add into that
I'm not.
I
don't pay taxes.
Well, if you buy anything, we can debate that a different time, but a lot of your listeners do pay taxes, and they're helping to pay for this bill. And then also remember that New Mexico produces is number 3 energy producer in the United States, right after Texas and North Dakota. And when that energy is pumped out of the ground, New Mexico takes up to 20% tax on that extraction revenue. So whenever you buy,
what kind of energy is New Mexico creating that they are getting out of the ground?
Oil and gas.
Okay.
And so that gets turned into gasoline and home heating fuel and jet fuel, and the natural gas becomes, it's piped for burning, for heating homes and businesses, and turned into liquefied natural gas, propane. But
How much heating of homes are they doing out there in New Mexico?
Quite a bit. It gets pretty cold here. It was I remember it being 20 below for an extended period one winter here.
Ooh,
it's not exactly warm in the winter. Pardon?
I thought it sucked here. So that's good to know.
Yeah, well, at least the sun comes back out. We had a blizzard yesterday, and then it's a nice sunny shirt sleeve weather day the next day being today.
I mean,
anyway,
ideally, private companies that controlled these the land under which these oil reserves were could privately sell those to companies in New Hampshire or Texas or wherever where they could ship this product to, and it could just be a free market transaction from one company to another, from one person to another. Right. But once the government got involved with it and subsidies started getting handed out and taxes became involved, regulations and all that, it was obviously going to become a mess.
Right. So anyway, but so while, if you're in private business and you go on a business trip sometimes, but not usually, is your spouse paid to accompany you, and then let alone your 2 grandchildren, that are also included in the trip on the company dime.
Well, it would depend on who you are in the company. I've known people who were basically provided with free housing for themselves and their families in order to work at a place. Other people have been paid to relocate with their entire families. Yeah. So, I mean, it would depend on who you are in the company and your qualifications and how badly that company wants to keep you.
And what you negotiate. Like at one point I lived in Florida and I was working as a computer programmer in New York, so I'd fly in every Monday and fly out every Friday, but sometimes instead they'd fly my girlfriend up for the weekend, and it made no difference to them.
Well, David, thank you for the call. Of course, with the city council and taxation and all of that, there is no oversight. It's not a matter of what is this person bringing to the city council that justifies this expenditure. It's, I voted for it.
The only oversight is an armed population.
The next generation wallet is coming from Divvy. In just a few taps, you'll be able to send, earn, spend, and exchange digital money in seconds. Send money around the globe with only a swipe. Instantly exchange between Divvy, Bitcoin, and fiat right in the mobile app, and withdraw directly to your bank account. Divvy already offers the first one-tap solution for earning passive income with crypto. Multi-tiered masternodes allow everyone to partake in the network. Visit DivvyProject.org. DivvyProject.org.
Gold has definitely been on the move recently, and there is no more secure investment historically. McIlvaney ICA has been helping people take delivery of precious metals and find storage options for decades. They've helped thousands of investors with their precious metal IRAs. Call ICA today for your free portfolio review at 800-525-9556 or download their free report online at ICAGoldSilver.com to learn how you can double your gold and silver ounces even within an IRA. 800-525-9556. ICAGoldSilver.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com.
My name is Jacob Hornberger. I'm president of the Future of Freedom Foundation, which Congressman Ron Paul awarded for having an outstanding freedom website. Write us at fff@fff.org, and we'll send you a free 3-month subscription to our monthly journal of libertarian essays and our booklet, Economic Liberty in the Constitution, which George Mason University economics professor Walter Williams praised in a recent column. That's fff@fff.org.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
Live video of our Keene, New Hampshire-based shows is streamed on DLive. Please follow and share at dlive.lrn.fm. That's dlive.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, talk radio that you control. You can call in and talk about whatever is on your mind. That toll-free number is 855-450-3733. With you tonight, it's Aria.
And nobody.
And I want to say thank you to Nick C., who is tonight's amplifier. Now, amplifier means he's part of the AMP program that you can find at amp.freetalklive.com. AMP stands for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And people who join the AMP program by giving $5, that's all we ask, to the AMP program are giving us money that we use strictly to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live. So if you like the show, if you like what we're doing, and you want us to get on more radio stations, reach larger audiences, all that kind of thing, you might consider checking out the AMP program. Again, that's amp.freetalklive.com. And Nick C., thank you so much for your contributions. Let's keep going straight to the phones. We've got Alex from Crypto Frontier. Alex, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, happy to be here.
Thanks for joining. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so 2020 seems to be the year of the gun. There's Virginia, and there's even the gun grabber in chief Bloomberg running for presidency. So I expect we'll see a lot more gun-related bills in the coming years, and especially this year of 2020. And I want to let everyone know that tomorrow on Free Talk Live, there'll be a special guest, David Raddick, coming to the studio in Saipan to discuss how he overturned the gun laws in the U.S. Mariana Islands.
So what is the status of gun ownership laws in the Marianas Islands?
The current status is 10-round mag ban, and there's some restrictions on carrying. But you can have your 50 cal sniper rifle, your AR-15, all those scary assault rifles that the left and the Republicans to some degree are always bashing on.
But your magazine can't hold more than 10 clips. Your magazine can't hold more than 10 rounds.
Well, we can learn a little bit more about that tomorrow, but let's just say the 10-round magazine ban is not enforced. If you go to the range, you'll be hearing a lot more than 10 rounds going off in succinct succession. So I'm just calling in to let everyone know that if you're interested in the topic, which some of you might be, some of you might not, we're going to have the guy who overturned the handgun ban, the ammunition ban, and is all around great dude on tomorrow to ask better questions and just give you on-the-ground information.
That's very cool, but I'm more concerned about what were these bans in the first place, like the handgun ban.
What do you mean? Oh, there was a. They said you can't own a handgun.
It was a flat ban on handguns.
Yeah, they said you can have a .22 rifle and a shotgun of a certain caliber as well, and that was it. So no handguns, no AR-15s, just like a dinky .22 and a certain type of shotgun. And
Shotguns
David
have
Raddick
gauges,
said,
not calibers.
"This is America. We have the right to keep and bear arms," and he sued the police chief and was able to win in federal court.
Nice.
Now, if you challenge something in the Marianas Islands like that, you say he was able to win in federal court. Does that end up in the U.S. federal court system? Like, can something be appealed?
Yeah, it's in the Ninth Circuit.
Can it reach the Supreme Court?
Yes. So it goes to the federal court.
Then why did they think this was ever
Islands.
going to fly?
You didn't think what would fly?
Why did they think a handgun ban would ever fly if it can be challenged under constitutional grounds up to the United States Supreme Court?
It who knows? I mean, how many gun bans have been overturned over the years?
Yeah, I mean, that
I
was
think they
very
just figure if
common.
we can get a good few years of tyranny, that's a win.
Yeah.
Well, Alex, thanks for the call. Definitely gives people a reason to listen to the show tomorrow night live from Saipan.
And in answer to your question, I mean, these gun bans were pretty common until the decision, and I'm blanking on the Heller decision. I mean, New York City had a complete gun ban that they almost complete, that they enforced for decades before, or no, it was Washington, D.C., before Heller sued them and won. And, you know, everybody, I mean, we all knew it was unconstitutional, but we thought that the Supreme Court was going to ignore the Constitution.
Like they usually do.
Frequently do.
Yeah. Like with the Affordable Care Act and the individual mandates.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, and the idea going even deeper during the Depression, there was a decision that if you were growing wheat on your own land to feed to your own animals, that was interstate commerce, and the federal government could control it. And I can't remember the name of that decision, but that was the disaster, and that's what's still quoted when they say, you know, when they give the federal government control over your blood chemistry through drug laws. It's like, well, if you grow marijuana, it might be sold in interstate commerce, even though that's illegal. So therefore, the government has the right to regulate it. And basically, that decision gave the government power to regulate absolutely anything. And I wish I could remember the name of it. I want to say Wickard versus Filburn, but I'm thinking that was something else.
The Interstate Commerce Clause has certainly been abused.
Yeah.
By the government. I mean, it's what they arrested Chris Cantwell for. Because his alleged threats were across state lines, and that made it a violation of their interstate commerce crap.
Yeah.
The most broadly interpreted clause in the Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, basically anything that you do has some nexus with interstate commerce, and therefore it renders the idea of limited government irrelevant.
Yeah. I mean, especially in an age of the internet, where I have no idea if I'm placing an order from something online where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know if I go to a local store that's like the Walpole Creamery here, where everything's locally made, locally sourced, I could know with reasonable certainty that even that would be rare, because you have to actually seek out those kinds of stores because everything's corporate now, and it's just generally not cost effective to charge $9 for a single scoop of ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, hey, they can get away with it.
Also, you can't grow sugar cane in New Hampshire.
Why can't you grow sugar cane in New Hampshire?
I don't think it grows in this climate.
Oh, it's just a weather thing?
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about growing
I mean,
anything.
you might be able to grow it in a greenhouse. I don't know.
But anyway, so yeah. Okay, so their sugarcane would have to come from another state then.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just the world we live in.
Yeah,
it's the world we've always lived in. You couldn't, I mean, one of the reasons that the tobacco trade was so prominent from the United States was because tobacco grows so easily in the Southeast here in the United States. And they tried, didn't they? Didn't they try to cultivate it and get it to grow in England at the time, and it just wasn't happening? I may be wrong.
I would imagine that somebody tried it, and it's possible to grow tobacco in New Hampshire. I know that exists. I don't know if it has to be a greenhouse crop or not. Probably, well, certainly can't be grown outside of a greenhouse this time of year.
Yeah, but you're going to have a hard time. You're not going to be able to grow every crop that you want in a given region.
Yes, we have no bananas.
No. So interstate commerce is kind of just part of life. Of course, the whole interstate thing is nonsense anyways, because the state borders are nonsense and just arbitrary lines on a map.
Yeah.
There's really nothing in the way except the government if you want to ship something here from somewhere else.
But thugs with guns can be a serious impediment.
Don't go anywhere. We've got an episode of the Edgington Post coming up in just a moment. This is Free Talk Live.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
I don't even recognize myself anymore.
I'm really worried about him. His addiction. I haven't seen him like this. Ever.
Hey, look, I never wanted to start using. I knew the drill, but I was out of options.
I just want to tell him it's not your fault. There are people out there who can help. People who have felt your pain. They know what you're going through.
This has to stop. I'm losing everything. Everyone.
You've been strong your whole life. You can do this, but you have to reach out for help.
It's time.
I am Mark
I can
Edge.
do
Today
this.
I've got with me
Addiction is a disease, and diseases need treatment.
Call Quit Drugs 321 now at 800-377-1456. 800-377-1456. That's 800-377-1456. Paid for by the Detox and Treatment Helpline.
Looking for that edge during those intimate moments? We see many ads for enhancement, but the side effects include death. At GCN Team, we should change the Healthy Body, Brain, and Heart Pack to the Healthy Libido Pack. The brain and heart are not the only organs that require a healthy vascular system. For proper blood flow at the right moment, go to GCNteam.com or call 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203. That's 877-878-4203.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com to receive our usually weekly news updates by email. Plus, we have a Twitter account at twitter.freetalklive.com, and you can follow us on the decentralized Mastodon platform at toot.freetalklive.com. So please follow us at toot.freetalklive.com and sign up for our emails at news.freetalklive.com. Bitcoin.com has launched a trading platform at local.bitcoin.com, allowing you to buy or sell Bitcoin Cash via dozens of payment methods like PayPal, Venmo, bank deposit, remittances, or meeting in person with cash. There are no ID requirements to sign up for and use the site, and all communications between buyers and sellers are encrypted. Finally, a global trading platform that respects your privacy. Visit local.bitcoin.com to get started trading Bitcoin Cash. local.bitcoin.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
All right, it's another edition of the Edgington Post Show. I am Mark Edge. Today I've got with me a friend of the show, Jeff McCabe. Jeff, you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here. I'm in Costa Rica.
And we're talking about Divvy today. Apparently, you guys have been very busy trying to make Divvy this great interface between government money and crypto money. And maybe it'll be the bridge that finally takes us away from this government-controlled currency paradigm that we're in.
Right. That's exactly right. Yeah, we're working on basically integrating Divvy, which is our cryptocurrency company, with a Costa Rican fintech, which is like a bank. We can do everything that a bank can do except for fractional banking.
Okay.
And so we can offer accounts in US dollars or in euros or in our local currency. And we're integrating that with the cryptocurrency Divvy that we have all into one mobile wallet. It's a way for us, we consider it basically a Trojan horse into the banking system, because they can try to block cryptocurrency all they want, but they can't block the banking system that they're part of. And so we're part of this wave of fintechs. There's a giant assault right now happening on all the banks by fintechs around the world. And the US is basically dragging its feet, of course, trying to stop this. They're trying to get everybody. To stick with the old system, but thankfully Europe is moving ahead really quickly, and a lot of countries in Asia too, where they're allowing more competition, and so fees are being driven down. Like every year we now see banking fees dropping, and for example in Costa Rica it used to take a week to send a wire transfer here with Wells Fargo. Now it's coming the same day or next day, because they've realized they have to compete. They could have done that before, but they didn't, because they didn't care. And they don't care about average people. It's all about how much money they can make. And so, crypto has always been a part of that, trying to disrupt all of that. But what we realized with Divvy is that, after 10 years of Bitcoin, crypto, the fight has to be taken to them on their home turf, basically. And so that's basically what we're doing.
Yeah, I think that banks, like so many, aren't going to evolve and aren't going to get better unless they are forced to. And banks and government have been in bed for as long as there have been banks and government. Frankly, they just sort of feed on each other, and so governments don't want to let the common man do their own banking. And that's what cryptocurrencies allow. That's what Divvy allows. And the reason that Free Talk Live got into this early on is we can see your guys' vision. If you guys have a modicum of success in this arena, you're going to be an extraordinarily powerful cryptocurrency. And how are we doing on this wallet that allows one to switch seamlessly between Bitcoin and fiat and Divvy?
Well, we have an interesting new development, which is that right now China came out with these what's called super apps, where they have something called WeChat, that has over 1 billion people using it, and Alipay, and they basically, you can do everything with these chat apps. They started as a chat app, and then they said, let's make it so you can do shopping, and you can do banking, and you can pay your bills, and you can pay your electricity, and you can do everything in one app. And so they actually jumped ahead of the rest of the world with this.
Yep.
So now Facebook is basically trying to do that, and Libra was their cryptocurrency that they were trying to develop as part of this ecosystem, where they're talking about merging the chat apps of Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp and Messenger all into one.
Yeah, this Libra terrified the banking industry, and it's very interesting how they reacted to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's interesting because both the far left and the far right hate the banks, but they also don't like Libra because of the Facebook's reputation for taking away people's privacy.
Sure.
And so basically, people that normally would have supported this in the government have been really grilling and giving a hard time and are afraid of Libra because they just don't want Facebook in charge of it. So it creates an interesting opportunity for us because our lead developer is the channel partner for Facebook and this sort of conglomerate of these 4 big apps in Central America. And so we're basically going to integrate Divi into the WhatsApp and all these apps, which should be coming out in just a few months, where basically you're going to be able to send Divi and Bitcoin. It will have Bitcoin as well.
So now's the time to buy
currencies. Well, I'm not supposed to talk about that, but yeah, we're doing some pretty amazing things. And in the meantime, we're building our own app. And with that, people can hold Divi or Bitcoin, and we'll add Litecoin and some of our favorite other coins in it as well. And people will be able to do their banking. So we'll be able to, just with a click or two, people will be able to set up an overseas bank for free. Right now, it's very expensive to set up an overseas bank account. So you'll be able to do that. Now for U.S. people, it's not, you can't do that anonymously. The U.S. they've got their fingers in every banking company in the world, basically. You can't, it used to be you could go and set up anonymous bank accounts in Panama, and maybe you still can, but you have to like walk in with $1 million, right? and have a lawyer represent you and do all this stuff. However, there's still are advantages of having an overseas account for various reasons. One of them is that the U.S. government can't go in and just pilfer your account. That actually happened to me one time, where they had decided I hadn't paid income tax even though I had, and meanwhile, while I was negotiating with them, they just went in and took my money out of the account.
It puts them in a strong negotiating position.
Yeah, it's great. It's really crazy what banks do. I mean, you can't. We read all about the stuff on the internet, but when it actually happens to you, it's just remarkable, like that they are allowed to get away with this.
Now, Divi was performing pretty well as far as pricing goes against Bitcoin when there was sort of the crypto winter slump was going on and all that stuff. What's it doing now that Bitcoin has been, BTC has been performing pretty well? BCH has, by the way, been performing great.
Yeah, we've been holding fairly steady. Usually I don't talk about price. Price is it's not really a good reflection of our value. It's one of the things I can say, is we do have a big upside, of course, because hardly anybody's heard of us, and we don't focus on that. We don't have like a marketing budget where we're going out trying to tell everybody to buy Divi and trying to sort of push up the value like a lot of these other cryptocurrencies do. We have a bunch of influencers, people like you that have found out about us and love what we're doing and have gotten excited. So that's basically what we do. We have like real people that are excited about it, that are letting us, sharing what we're doing. And a lot of people like you, you were involved with Bitcoin from very early, and I think one of the most important influencers in the whole space at the time. And people like you see what we're doing and get excited and think, oh, this is going to be the next Bitcoin. And I mean, that's possible, but we're not trying to replace Bitcoin. We are trying to do what Bitcoin originally was designed to do, which is to be an international currency where people buy and sell things with it. We see Bitcoin as kind of like gold, where it'll be a store of value in the future, and it'll be worth trillions someday. Divi, we're trying to be one of the top. We think there'll be many, not just one, but we think there'll be probably 100 cryptocurrencies that people use. We call that branded money, where people have their favorite brands that they like things about the owners, they like things about the ecosystem and what the other sort of cool things that it can do. So we're basically working on being sort of a partner to Bitcoin, not a replacement for it.
Now, I got involved. My wife and I set up one of these master nodes that you guys have, the one-click master nodes, and it was a pretty easy process to go through. Can you describe what one goes through to set up a master node and what the benefit is?
And you'll be able to hear the rest of that because we screwed up in the studio here tonight. Sorry about that. You'll be able to hear the rest of the interview on our archive tonight, a little bit later on. You can download it directly at freetalklive.com.
Would it be nice to wake up in the morning whenever you want and work whenever you feel like it? Date women under your terms instead of society's? Be a completely free man? I'm Caleb Jones, and I have taught hundreds of thousands of men how to create low-work, high-income businesses and how to date women under your terms. Watch our free, on-demand replay training with me so you can learn how to create location-independent income and date women the way you want. Go to alpha.freetalklive.com.
Free Talk Live is now on more than 200 radio stations nationwide. We've had more than 18 million podcast downloads, and we claim millions of listens a month. We're a multimedia ad venue with print, email, web, and terrestrial radio marketing platforms. We strive to have ad packages that cater to advertisers big and small. Contact me today at mark@freetalklive.com to see what we can do for you. mark@freetalklive.com. If you're a local advertiser, contact this station. But if you can service a national audience, contact me, mark@freetalklive.com. Is oral health important to you? If you don't like your own teeth, fresh breath, or kissing people, then by all means stop listening. Several years ago, I met Jessica Armand, founder and CEO of My Magic Mud, and I became passionate about the product that she created and never want to live without it. It's clinically proven to whiten teeth, but I find it does much more. They want you to love My Magic Mud as much as I do, so they're giving you a money-back guarantee plus 20% off. Go to mymagicmud.com and use coupon code FTL20 at checkout. mymagicmud.com, FTL20.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
The latest episode of Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock is next after the news on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with the SNLS Network.